You've seen them win titles. You've watched them build dynasties. You've worn their shirts with pride. But there's something strangely consistent about your favorite football teams, something that almost never changes, no matter how much the players, managers, or even owners do. It's the brand on their kit. Think about it for a second. Have you ever seen Real Madrid in a Nike kit? No. And you probably never will. Real Madrid and Adidas, that's a partnership that feels eternal. White kits, 3 stripes, Champions League nights, it's almost a tradition at this point. Adidas have been with Los Blancos for decades, and they've crafted some of the most iconic kits in football history. Now try to picture Jude Bellingham or Vinicius Jr. walking out at the Bernabeu in a swoosh-branded shirt. It just doesn't feel right. It almost feels wrong. And then there's Barcelona. You associate them with flair, elegance, and of course, Nike. From the days of Ronaldinho and the first swoosh-branded Barca shirts, to Messi's era, Nike and Barcelona have been nearly inseparable since 1998. But imagine if Barcelona turned up in Adidas. The 3 stripes running down the sleeves of Gavi, Pedri, and Lewandowski. It sounds like a glitch in the football matrix. And yet, there was a time, decades ago, when they wore brands like Kappa and Meba. But Adidas? Never. Let's talk about Manchester City. Today's City are a global brand, slick, modern, dominant. Puma came in and took over after Nike in 2019, but even before that, City's history saw them bounce through kits from Le Coq Sportif, Umbro, and others. Adidas? Not once. For a club that seems to have tried nearly everything, it's almost unbelievable that the 3 stripes never made it onto a City kit. Chelsea is another big one. They've gone from Umbro to Adidas to Nike. But Puma? That's a name you won't find in the Stamford Bridge archives. As odd as it sounds, there's never been a Chelsea Puma kit, despite Puma's growing influence with clubs like Dortmund, Milan, and City. Puma's designs can be bold, creative, sometimes even controversial, but they've never touched the royal blue of Chelsea Football Club. Tottenham Hotspur. You guessed it, another loyal Nike club in recent years. Before that, they were partnered with Under Armour, Puma, and even Kappa. But Adidas? Not a single official shirt. Which is almost ironic, considering their North London rivals, Arsenal, have gone full circle with Adidas, from the iconic 90s kits to today's trend-setting drops. But Spurs? Still no stripes. Let's head over to Germany. Bayern Munich and Adidas are practically married. Not only is Adidas a part owner of the club, but they've also been Bayern's kit supplier for over 50 years. Nike has never even come close to Bayern's red and white empire. Just imagine Nike swooshes on Thomas Muller or Harry Kane, it feels like a parallel universe. In Italy, AC Milan have been longtime partners with Puma. But they also had a legendary run with Adidas. However, Nike. It's never happened. And it's strange, because Nike has dipped into Italian football before, Roma, Inter, and even Juventus. But Milan? Always just out of reach. Napoli, one of the most iconic clubs in Serie A, have often gone with more boutique or local Italian brands like Macron, Kappa, and EA7. But you'll never find a Nike or Adidas Napoli kit in any catalog or museum. It's like those brands never touched the city of Naples. Paris Saint-Germain is an interesting one. They're now synonymous with Nike and Jordan, the streetwear meets football revolution. But prior to that, Adidas had a brief spell decades ago. Puma, though, nowhere to be seen. You'd think with Puma's aggressive expansion, they'd try to sneak into the Parisian fashion scene, but PSG's identity is locked down tight with the swoosh. Juventus is another name with a clear brand identity. Once Nike, now Adidas. But Puma? Never. And considering how experimental Juve have been with their kits lately, you'd think they would have flirted with the idea. But no, still untouched by the big cat. Even Liverpool, who currently wear Nike, had a long run with Adidas and Reebok before that. But Puma? It never happened. And as iconic as Puma is in football, for some reason, they've never draped Anfield's legends in their brand. It's fascinating how we mentally tie certain brands to clubs. Like Adidas and Real Madrid, Nike and Barcelona, Puma and Dortmund. When we see a different brand, even in a concept kit, it just feels off. Football kits are more than just sportswear. They're symbols. They're memories. They're the look of glory, or heartbreak. Could that ever change? Of course. In modern football, loyalty often comes second to marketing deals and mega sponsorship offers. We might see a day when Barcelona ditches Nike, or Bayern shock the world and go with Under Armour. It would be weird, maybe even controversial, but nothing is off limits anymore in this sport. Until then, though, there are still some things that feel sacred, untouchable. Some shirts that just belong to one brand. And maybe that's a small piece of tradition football still holds onto. If you enjoyed this deep dive into kit culture, hit that subscribe button for more football storytelling. We bring you the stories you won't hear on mainstream media, the forgotten legends, the strange what-ifs, and everything in between.